Good morning, everyone. Welcome to webinar 3 on the series from ECOP Australia and New Zealand on why ECOPs should join professional societies. Thank you very much to the attendees and to the amazing panelists that we have put together today. I'd like to start by acknowledging the Whadjuk people from the Noongar Nation, who are the traditional custodians of the land on which I stand today, and the traditional custodians of all the lands from where you are dialing in today. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Indigenous peoples attending this webinar or watching its recording, especially Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. So today's webinar, like I said, is on why join professional societies. And we have here representatives of 7 different societies in Australia, New Zealand, and also international. We have Paula Cartwright, who's going to be talking about opportunities with the Australian Marine Sciences Association. Tanika Shalders, who is going to be talking about opportunities from the Australian Society for Fish Biology. Jacinta Humphrey is going to be talking about opportunities from the Ecological Society of Australia. Jodie Rummer, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your last name, is going to be talking about opportunities from the Australian Coral Reef Society. Brooke Ellis-Smith is going to be talking about opportunities from the New Zealand Marine Sciences Society. Mark Casey is going to be talking about opportunities from the Society for Underwater Technology, especially the Perth branch. And I'll be talking as well about opportunities for ECOPs with the Association for the Sciences of Limnology and Oceanography. So we'll have the panelists talk a bit about their societies and opportunities. Some of us will show some slides as well, which you can go back to in the recording, or you can take screenshots, whatever you like. And we'll have some time for questions at the end. Paula, would you like to start? You're muted.
Thanks, Rita. So hi, everyone. I'm representing Australian Marine Sciences Association. So I'm currently Vice President of AMSA and incoming President at the next AGM. I've been with AMSA for about 8 years now. I joined at the start of my PhD as e-news editor. So I was looking for volunteer opportunities outside of what I'd been doing previously for another organisation, which wasn't really meeting my needs anymore. And I'm one of those people that really enjoys a service and engagement role. So AMSA was advertising for an e-news editor at the time. So I thought, oh, I can do that. So yeah, so I did it and I ended up doing it for like 6 years. It's quite a hefty amount of work to do sort of on a weekly basis through all of that time. But by then they'd invited me to join the National Council and I'd been on branch as well. So yeah, it's been fabulous to be a part of AMSA. It's really kind of expanded my network and started off collaborations and yeah, so that's been my side of it. But a lot of people join AMSA just because they want to belong to professional society and enjoy those member benefits. But also keep in mind that there are those council roles as well that are open to all AMSA members. If anybody, does want to get more involved and actually have those service and engagement opportunities. And that's something I think, particularly when you work in academia, that the universities are really looking at when you go through like promotion rounds and things like that. It's something really good to have on your CV. But yeah, some of the benefits of joining AMSA, if I make the notes, well, most people join AMSA because they get the discounted conference every year. And the AMSA conference is really a fabulous conference. So it's one of the bigger conferences, marine science conferences in Australia, which some people think is great and others, prefer the smaller one. They've all got their place, of course. But AMSA, their conferences is really got something for everyone. So every aspect of marine science, from social science to fish to, TOs, to, corals and oceanography and marine geology. So it's a really broad coverage. And the membership for AMSA, actually the reduced rate you get covers the cost of your membership for AMSA. So most people who come to the AMSA conference will join AMSA as a member prior to that conference to get the discounted rate. So yeah, consequently, after a year later, we do get sort of a drop-off rate of membership from maybe those who aren't planning to go to the next AMSA conference. So yeah, membership sort of goes up and down a lot in line with sort of conferences. But there's a lot of other things apart from conference that make AMSA a really great organisation to be part of. So we're a affiliate of Science and Technology Australia, which gives us a lot of benefits that we can then pass on to our members. So every year at Science Meets Parliament, we offer 2 to 3, sometimes even 4 places for our members to attend Science Meets Parliament. We pay for all of those travel and registration costs. So yeah, every year we have AMSA is represented at Science Meets Parliament, so that we get to go to Canberra, spend a few days with other science people from around Australia, from all disciplines. Yeah, so that's a really popular event and such a great member benefit for AMSA. So there's also the weekly e-news. Like I said, I edited e-news for a long time, and just doing that, it was amazing how much that opened up like international marine science. It made me so aware of all the things that are happening globally in the marine science realms. So that's passed on to our members every week. Some people opt out of it, but most people love to get e-news to open it. So there's information about, what's happening all around Australia. There's job opportunities and grant opportunities. And it's just like keeping your finger on the pulse of marine science across Australia. So there's, local branches. Every state has its own branch of AMSA, and National Council of AMSA gives funding to those branches so that they can hold events on a regular basis that's all the AMSA members can attend. So there's things like, webinars and kind of science type events, marine snapshots, chats where you can go and present your research in a quick, like 1-minute presentation, different retreats. So WA has their Rottnest student retreat, and AMSA funds all of these things. So in Queensland, we have like a magnetic island retreat. So all these different things that is open to AMSA members, particularly popular with students. A lot of student support in AMSA. Like I said, there's always the opportunity to join your council, whether that be state or national. We also have a bulletin that's produced approximately 4 times a year. And the bulletins just become open access as well. So that goes out to the general public. And AMSA members have the opportunity to contribute to the bulletin. So whether that be through a little piece about what research you've been doing, or like a conversation type piece, or anything that you find interesting. So it's another way to sort of get experience, I guess, in a different type of publishing. AMSA is also really strong with contributing to public submissions, so government submissions on like marine parks, new marine parks, or different policy. AMSA likes to publish a statement or a response to all of those open submissions. So we always put a call out for any of our members who might like to be involved in that submission. So it's really great if you're looking at some point to maybe work a little bit in policy, or just or if it's an area that actually affects your research, maybe you might like to be involved in one of those public submissions. We also have our own position statement, so that's something that members can also contribute to. These sort of come up on a regular basis, and if you look on AMSA website, you can see a list of all of our position statements. Another example of that is the Horizon Europe program, for example. So we recently put in a submission to the Australian government on the Horizon Europe. They had a call to see what people thought about joining Horizon Europe, which, if you haven't heard of it, is like a funding agency basically for science. So we put in a really strong submission, and partly as a result of that, the government has decided to join Horizon Europe. So it means that there's going to be like millions of more dollars available for Australian scientists to apply for every year, starting from next year. And AMSA also has awards and prizes. We present these at our conference every year, and these are open to AMSA members. There's a whole range of them. They're also listed on our website. They're but really some of them are really quite prestigious, but they come down to like student level as well. So AMSA has heaps of opportunities across all stages of career, from students to early career and later career. And I think it's really great for young people to join AMSA early in their career, even as students. And if you maintain that membership, before you know it, a couple of decades has gone by and you become like a life member of AMSA. It's such a prestigious thing. And you get free conference registration after that. And yeah, it's just really nice to see that there's a few more people now that have reached that sort of level. And yeah, it's just a really nice way to pass on legacy as well. Yeah, I think that's all the points I wanted to make. So yeah, I'll be happy to take any questions later on. Thanks. I'll pass that
That's
to you, Rita.
wonderful. Thank you so much, Paula. And I definitely agree. People should join as early as they can to benefit the most from societies. Should we continue? Tanika, do you want to take us on the journey with AFSB?
Hi, everyone. I'll just share. I just have this very basic slide. If it will let me. Huh. It's not letting me now. I practiced this earlier, but I might just share it with you and you can.
Oh, I actually have it here.
Okay.
I'll open it for you.
Awesome. Anyway, so I've been a member of ASFB since I was a honors student over a decade ago. And now I'm the WA representative, along with Dan Yo. So we sit on the board and attend all the board meetings and represent Western Australia. So yeah, the Australian Society of Fish Biology, the main objectives are to promote research, education and management of fish and fisheries in Australasia, and to provide a forum to exchange information. So part of that, you can come to the Australian Fish ASFB to ask for advice, get information, and that's kind of open to individuals and like organizations. But the ethos behind ASFB is very student focused. So if you're an early career scientist who supervises students, it's really good to get involved and encourage your students to get involved. It's an extremely friendly society. I've always really enjoyed my time with ASFB. I joined up as a student and attended my conference with them, my first conference ever as a marine scientist, and it was such a welcoming and enjoyable atmosphere. It is quite a small community, so you get to know everyone really quickly. But that also means that there is not a lot of competition for awards. So we have 2 early career research awards, the ASFB Early Career Excellence Award, which is up to $1.5 grand, and that helps support you to go to one of our ASFB annual conferences. This year, our conference is in Hobart, and we also have an award for an international travel scholarship, which provides up to $5 grand, which will help you to attend a international conference, represent ASFB, and present your science. On top of this, we have 6 additional student awards. I was very fortunate as a student to win the International Travel Scholarship Award, which allowed me to go to Seattle in America and present at the World Fisheries Congress, as well as additional awards that help to support my research and also attendance at the annual ASFB conference. So if you're looking for a society to go share your research at a conference, is a really great one, and it's a good one to get funding to support your attendance as well. So yeah, as I said, we have an annual conference. I've put the little banner down below for this year's conference, and it tends to move state to state each year. Yeah, I think last year was in Newcastle. Yeah, so great conference. Get involved if you're interested. The society is focused on fish and fisheries, but that's quite loose. You could be working on fish habitat. You should be working on oceanography that impacts fish and fisheries. It is quite broad, and they're extremely welcoming of people who work in all kinds of spaces of fish and fishery science. At the moment, I actually focus on seaweed. So, yeah, I'm not fish focused at the moment, but it's still highly relevant to fish and fisheries. And also, we have a lot of committees that you can get involved with. So, yeah, I have them on the bottom right there. We have an alien fishes committee. We have a future of the society committee. So that one helps to like steer where the society is going and what we kind of become in the future. So yeah, I'd encourage you to go to the website. I think it's asfb.org.au and have a look into the society and other benefits. Like Paula said with AMSA, we also have like a biannual newsletter, which you're able to contribute to. You can send us like a snapshot of your project that you're working on or research that you're doing, a recent manuscript, even science or fish related art is also featured in our biannual newsletter. So yeah, it's just I have a lot to say, I guess, about the things that kind of overlaps with what Paula said. We do a lot of similar things at ASFB, but yeah, I would just highly encourage it as a society, just for the small nature of the society and how welcoming and friendly it is. Um, yeah, if you're interested, reach out for sure and head to the website if you want extra information. Yeah, that's it from me.
That's lovely. Thank you so much.
No worries.
And everyone will be able to answer questions at the end. And if you don't have your question answered, I can always ask the panelists and let everyone know later. Should we continue with, how about Brooke? Would you like to go next?
Yeah, sure. I'll just share my
See if
screen.
you can share.
Yeah. All right. Is that sharing?
Perfect.
Is that working? Great. All right. So my name is Brooke Ellis-Smith. I'm a marine sciences PhD student, and I'm also a student council member of the of Mātai Moana New Zealand Marine Sciences Society. I'm also the membership secretary and listserv coordinator. So I've been doing this volunteer role for the last 2 years. So that's kind of one of the things that we offer to students or even early career professionals is you can join the council and you can, we have specific roles. So the students are often in charge of the website, sending out all the emails. I'm in charge of all the membership, and soon I'll be passing that role on because I won't be a student anymore, and also the social media stuff. So I will give, oh, so the purpose of Mātai Moana or New Zealand Marine Sciences Society is to support and connect the marine science community in Aotearoa, New Zealand. But we pretty much welcome anyone who has an interest in the marine environment. So this includes marine policy, resource management, conservation, business, aquaculture, ecology, oceanography, anything really that's related to the marine realm. So we have multiple different membership types. We have our student membership, which is heavily discounted. So per year, it is 23 New Zealand dollars. And we also offer a professional membership. And then we have a retired membership that is the same cost as the student membership. And through this membership, you can receive emails. We send out relevant jobs and also opportunities for submissions. And like I mentioned, there's an opportunity for any of our members to join the council. So we have a monthly meeting on Zoom for the council members, and you can contribute to any of the things that we do as a society, planning our conferences, assessing student applications for scholarships. And you can join as a student and obviously contribute to any of those things that I listed earlier. So the website, the social media, the emails. It is a really good opportunity, and it's something to get involved with. It allows you to network a lot with the marine professionals that we have in New Zealand, and get yourself known. So that I think is a really important thing for any early career or students. One thing that the Society is really passionate about is supporting our students. So that is one of the main things that we like to do. And so we have a couple of different ways that we do this. We offer a student research grant. So this the value of this is determined by the funds that the council has available year on year. To apply for this, it's just done through our website, but it will go to a student who's undertaking postgraduate research in New Zealand. You need to be a current member, and the funds can be used for any purpose to support the research. So members of the Society will assess the applications and then determine the best recipient or recipients for this. And this one's also cool because this award includes free conference registration to the next conference. So we have an annual conference, and for a student, I think it's about $250 to $300. So that cost will be covered. We also offer a first overseas conference travel fund. So I received this last year, and it allowed me to go to a conference in Richmond, Virginia. So we have 2 rounds of this a year in March and August. Again, it requires the applicants to be undertaking a postgraduate degree in New Zealand and to be a current member. And it can be used to attend the first in-person overseas conference. If you are an international student studying in New Zealand and you've attended a conference in a country you studied in, then you can still apply for this as long as you didn't, go to an international conference from the university that you were at. And then within our conference, we also offer a lot of student conference prizes. So the Society itself, we give awards for the best student talk and best poster. And then we also have a lot of externally sponsored awards from different places. So it could just be companies. We do often have some from sometimes regional councils from where we're holding the Society for talks on special topics. So we always have opportunities to support the students. So like I mentioned, that's one of the key objectives of the council and one of our priorities for where we like the funds that the council has to go to as well. And like I mentioned, we have an annual conference. So this usually takes place in July. Sometimes we do joint conferences. So we have joined with AMSA and also the New Zealand Freshwater Society. So at times the conference can vary, but it's a very friendly conference. We also welcome any international presenters. I think everyone in New Zealand gets quite excited when we get some research from outside New Zealand. So I definitely recommend checking that out. It's really friendly, a really good conference to get comfortable and get some experience presenting in front of a really friendly, constructive audience. And we also offer discounted student registration compared to the professional registration. But yeah, so definitely, I think a good opportunity for any students or early career professionals to join the Society. Either you can get involved with the Society business or simply join to gain the benefits that we will offer to our members. Cool.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thank you so much, Brooke.
Thank you.
Jacinta, do you want to follow next?
I'll just bring up, I've got a couple of simple slides. Great. Thanks so much for everyone coming along or watching this recording. So I'm Jacinta Humphrey. I'm the current chair of the Ecological Society of Australia Early Career Ecologist Working Group, which is an exceptionally long name. basically we're a group who are all about supporting early career people, be that students or folks who are in their first, say, 5 years of their careers, if they've completed an honours, a master's or a PhD. So I'll briefly talk a bit about why I think you should consider joining ESA. I can get my slides to change. There we go. So we have 4 different funding opportunities specifically for students. So our major one is the Holsworth Wildlife Research Endowment. So anyone studying anything to do with wildlife can apply for this up to $8,500 a year for 3 consecutive years. We also have the Jill Landsberg Trust Fund, which is slightly less, but that one specifically mentions marine and freshwater systems. We have one that focuses solely on fundamental ecology, so less about, say, applied research, but just asking those really important baseline questions, which is up to $5,000. And then, as many other people have mentioned, we have travel grants as well. So this is to attend the annual ESA conference, which I'll talk more about in a moment. And these are available every year. The amount kind of depends on where the conference is and where you're traveling from. So obviously, if you've got a longer distance to travel, you'll be eligible for more money. There's also a couple of options if you are no longer a student but are still involved in research early in your career. So the main one is the Next Generation Ecologist Award. So this is designed to recognise up-and-coming researchers who are post-PhD. You get up to $3,000 and they will also cover all your costs to go to the conference, and you get to give a plenary, which is pretty cool. And then the second one is a bit more software and kind of computing focused. So it's a bit niche, but it recognises kind of new methods or people that have made cool modelling stuff, which is so not my area, but that's fine. Again, $3,000, they cover your conference travel and your registration. We also do a lot of things around mentoring. So we are a really big society, and we recognise that one of the big things that early career folks need is just someone to talk to ask some of those tricky questions beyond their own research group. So we have a speed mentoring program, which is coming up in July, and this is designed to be online and accessible to anyone who's interested. So the mentees can register for up to 3 30-minute conversations, and you actually get to choose the mentors that you're most interested in. So we will release a list of people, tell you what it is they study, whether they work in academia, government, industry, and you can kind of select who you want to chat to. So this is only open to current ESA members. As I said, it's coming up this July. And then we also have an in-person mentoring booth at our annual conference. So again, you can book up to 3 chats. They're a little bit shorter, only 15 minutes, with mentors of your choice. And this is open to anyone who goes to the conference. You do not have to be a member to benefit. And this takes place typically during the lunch breaks at the annual conference. I've talked a lot about the conference. It is really big. So in recent years, our conference has been getting anywhere from 1,200 to 1,400 attendees. And these are people from all different areas. They're not just university academics, where we're getting a lot more people from industry and from government coming along. And there's a really large breadth of topics covered. As you would imagine, with that many people, it is not just terrestrial ecology. I promise you, there is also aquatic and marine topics covered. As other people have mentioned, if you are a member of the society, you get a reduced registration fee, which is nice. And this year's conference is going to be in Brizzy. So we'll be there from late November through to like the first week of December. And you can find more at that website. And we've got a whole bunch of different initiatives for students and early career folks at our conference. So if you are a student, we run something called Postgrad Day, which is a full day on the Sunday before the conference starts, kind of solely focused around you guys and benefiting your future careers. We also have a session that focuses on different career pathways that we run each year. So we'll get some more senior folks to talk about their journeys and kind of the different areas they've worked in. We have an early career focused symposium, which last year had a huge number of presenters. It went over like a day and a half. So lots of early career people sharing their work. We also have a networking and social night for our early career folks. And last year, we also introduced stickers. So if you're looking for a job, looking for a PhD, you could get one of these Hire Me stickers and people would know to come and chat to you. And then the more senior folks may have one that says work with us. So that's how you know they might be having a job on offer. And there's a bunch of other benefits. So just quickly, we've got a whole heap of different working groups. As I mentioned, I'm part of the early career ecologist group, but we also have groups that chat about things around teaching, equity and diversity. We do a lot with Indigenous engagement, policy practitioners. We have special interest networks, some of which may be relevant to what you guys are studying. So things around movement, quantitative ecology, science communication, which of course lots of people are interested in. And we've got a bunch of different journals and newsletters. So there's 2 academic publications, and then we also have weekly e-news and a monthly Feel Good Friday, which is really cute. It's a bunch of positive stories about the environment. So yeah, that's our website. $70 for students to join, or $120 for ECEs, and that's an annual fee. Thanks.
That was amazing. Thank you so much, Jacinta. Jodie, would you like to go next?
Yeah, hi, sure. Let me just share my screen. How about that? How's that look? Okay?
Perfect.
Amazing. So yeah, thanks, Rita. And yeah, thanks just for the opportunity. My name's Jodie Rummer. I'm the current president of the Australian Coral Reef Society. In my spare time, I'm also a professor of marine biology here at James Cook University, all the way up in Townsville, North Queensland. Today, I'm calling in from Bindal and Woolgoolga country. And I guess my hope with this opportunity was to frame 5 minutes or so around one big question in being why should students and post-PhD researchers, early career researchers consider the Australian Coral Reef Society. And I guess the main message that I hope you can take home is that ACRS is a really friendly, a highly relevant professional home for anyone doing any kind of work or interested in the reef, people who want community, visibility, practical support, and science-informed voice in reef policy. So ACRS was founded in 1922. It's the world's largest, oldest organization concerned with the study and conservation of coral reefs. Today, we're about 250 plus members in our society, and we promote scientific research on Australian reefs, coral reefs worldwide. We provide a forum for across science, across management agencies, reef-based industries, tourism. We offer impartial expert advice to policymakers, others that are interested in coral reefs. We are also part of Science Technology Australia, so we often are attending Science Meets Parliament as well. Really important parts of our values. For early career ocean professionals, I think I'd probably emphasize at least 4 benefits of ACRS. First, membership gives people a voice in the future direction of coral reef research, management, sustainable development. Secondly, it opens networks, including both Australian and overseas connections. We provide formal and informal opportunities through our scientific meetings, our newsletters, our email list. And fourth, we offer discounted conference registration, something that's been mentioned across the board, across these societies, lots of different opportunities for grants and scholarships, and very much a pathway into the professional reef community. It's really practical. ACRS directly invests in our students, in our early career researchers, in our emerging reef scientists. For example, student research awards support up to 5 students per year with major named prizes, lots of additional ACRS awards that are available. Our student conference travel awards support attendance at our annual ACRS conference, and also at the International Coral Reef Society Conference when it's held every 4 years. And we also have student oral and poster prizes that recognize excellence at our annual conferences. There's also broader recognition through our ACRS medal system. So we've got early career researcher medals, we've got mid-career researcher medals, etc. We've got an amazing website, so you can check out our ACRS website for lots of live dates for all the things that are coming up. The recurring sort of early career researcher relevant opportunities would be student conference travel awards, research awards, all of our student presentation awards, the ACRS medals. As I mentioned, we do an annual conference, but in lieu of our annual conference this year in 2026, you can come find us at the International Coral Reef Symposium, which is being held in Auckland in July. And there's a lot of other ways to connect, including our Reef Matters seminar series. We also do formal submissions to Parliament when big issues come up that are regarding not just the coral reef ecosystems, but the marine ecosystems, and various other communications through our email list, etc. We've got great presence on social media as well. So how to plug in? I think everyone has already said a lot of amazing reasons to join some of these professional societies. I guess, yeah, joining is definitely the first step, but the goal is active belonging. So attend, present at our at our annual conference, engage with our workshops, our seminars. We have so many opportunities that are available. Apply for our awards, nominate your colleagues for our awards as well, contribute to our society's conversations. ACRS is very much a professional home for reef science, very much for conservation, policy, and I think community is probably the utmost of importance with that. And we would love to welcome more early career ocean professionals into the ACRS. And that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jodie. That was also excellent. Mark, do you want to go next?
Just unmute myself. And share that.
Yes.
Okie doke. I can't see that on the share screen, but anyway, so you can see it?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, cool. So hello everybody on the call, and also everybody who's going to watch this, the recording afterwards. I'll be short and sweet so we have time for questions, I guess. So I am Mark Casey. I am the Vice Chair of the Society for Underwater Technology here in Perth. I've been in the society for 10 years. Yeah, my experience with the society has been many and varied, and very rewarding over that 10 years. So just a little bit about the Society. The Society for Underwater Technology is a not-for-profit, multidisciplinary learned society with a mission to bring together organizations and individuals with an interest in underwater technology, ocean science, and offshore engineering. It was born out of the oil and gas industry. So you're saying what? Dirty oil and gas. But yeah, no, we also address renewables, offshore wind, offshore wave energy, and the like in our underwater technology focus areas. Like all you other societies, members receive discounted rates for SUT events and courses. So we run a bunch of courses, which I'll talk about. It's a global network. Started off in 1966 in the UK, and spread to Australia. Last year in Perth, we had our 21st anniversary. So we've been in Perth for quite a while. We have a bunch of special interest groups with memberships from industry, academia, and ocean governance. We also have technical publications that are issued by the global entity, and they're peer-reviewed underwater technology journals. We also have conferences, and the reason why I've highlighted this, I want to focus on this. So conferences, we have a conference every year, but we alternate between topics. So we have an autonomous marine technology conference year 1, and year 2 we have a subsea controls down under conference, and we alternate between the two. And generally, well, we have the subsea controls down under conference this year, which is an international conference that's very well regarded by a bunch of folks. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. We also have evening technical meetings which we hold every 2 months. We come along to the Hilton. We have canapes and drinky poos beforehand, and so we network, and then we go in and we have 3 presentations that are technical focused, and then we do some more networking afterwards. So it's a really good opportunity to meet, if you're a student, meet grown-ups in the industry that will come and approach you and talk to you, and start your networking journey, which is a very important part of career development, as we know. So, and we also have singular workshops and training courses. So we offer a bunch of training courses that provide fundamentals for technical fundamentals for subsea technology. I'll talk about that in a minute. And we have technical visits. So you've probably read the rest of it while I've been rabbiting on. So one thing about the SUT in Perth is that student membership is free. So no excuses. You can sign up for free and get all the benefits that come with membership. We also have a mentoring program as well, an industry mentoring program which we share with a bunch of other societies here in Perth, and it's already ongoing at the moment, but you can go to the website to find out more if you wanted to join next year. So unlike I think it was Jacinta mentioned that the mentees get to choose their mentors. In this case, we usually become the joiners of the mentors and mentees based on their requirements and experience. Can you still see the first slide? Yeah. So so down the bottom there, I've also said we currently have 100 individual, 40 corporate, 17 global, 4 academic, and 57 student members in Australia. So the Perth branch is basically the APAC main branch. We also are probably the leader, it's fair to say, in all the branches in the world that the Society for Underwater Technology has, because of our passion and activity that we put into everything that we do. So if you're in Perth and you want to join, come join. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a flavour. I can't see what screen I've got up, but am I still on the first one?
Still on the first one. Oh, yeah, now you changed.
Oh, yeah, cool. So just a bit of a flavour. So we have a subsea production systems course. This is obviously very oil and gas focused. There is still an industry in oil and gas in the world, as we know, and with the latest issues in Iran and so forth, we know that we'll need hydrocarbons for a number of years to come. But obviously the transition's coming, and we're all welcoming it, including us. So that's a course typically over a couple of days, with industry people coming in and talking about relevant topics, and giving students the insight to go away and use that technical knowledge. So a very practical course. We also, as I mentioned, we have evening technical meetings, so once every 2 months. So I've already gone 6 minutes. Okay. So the June one is around decommissioning, which is very relevant to things that are happening at the moment in the world. We also cater for young people in terms of we have a YES organisation, which is Young Engineers and Scientists. So if you're young, you can join that in the organisation, and they have quiz nights and networking nights and technical nights. And then materials and corrosion course is another example of a course that is very relevant, obviously, to subsea and underwater technology in any sphere that we hold on an annual basis. We also have a subsea awareness course, which is a 5-day course, introduction course for people who want to get into subsea, or people who want to understand subsea, because subsea is a bit of a black art, or has been in recent years. And then the SCDU conference I mentioned, which is on October this year, and we have 2 days of presentations with 20 odd presentations, and we have pitch sessions and technical innovation discussions over that time, and of course networking. So that's the summary. So your underwater technology journey starts here, so please come and join us. It's free for students, so no excuse. And I've left a link to the website, which has a lot more information. Obviously, I can send you this presentation, Rita.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Mark.
Okay.
And I will now change my hats, and I'll present in relation to some of the opportunities for students and early career professionals with ASLO. And there we go. So I thank you everyone for saying all the things that you've said. Those are really important for ECOPS, and when I say ECOPS, I include students in that. Some societies differentiate between students and post-PhD professionals, but I'll just group them for ease of speaking. This is a bit of a long presentation, so don't panic if I don't speak everything on the slides. I just wanted to provide people with the information that they can either take a screenshot or go back to in the recording later. Like the Ecological Society of Australia, ASLO, which stands for the Association for the Sciences of Limnology and Oceanography, is a bigger society. For more than 7 decades, it has been the leading professional organization in the field of aquatic sciences, so not just oceanography, but limnology as well. It has a bit over 3,200 members in more than 70 countries as of December last year, and more than half of that is made up of students and early career professionals. The three pillars of ASLO are its meetings that connect aquatic sciences professionals around the world. There are 1 to 2 meetings every year. We also have high-impact journals that are known as the Limnology and Oceanography family of journals, and the revenue from these publications is usually invested into society programs. And we have our programs, which is basically the community and how we serve the community with various different opportunities and recognition for member contribution to society. This is a publication that I put together a year or 2 ago about all the opportunities with ASLO. Some of the programs are a bit outdated, but it's a good place to start, and also on the ASLO website, obviously. So I'll briefly go through some of the programs that we have. So we have the ASLO Emerging Fellows, which provides comprehensive mentoring, skill building, and network training for ECOPS, and eligible applicants range from undergrad students to early postdoc fellows. So this is a new program. I'm not quite sure yet when the next call will come out, but it might be later this year. So if you're an ASLO member, you definitely get member emails whenever a call opens up for an opportunity. We also offer meeting travel awards. Like I said, 1 or 2 meetings every year. The next one is in Puerto Rico in February next year, and you'll be able to apply for awards that help you attend the meeting, including childcare costs. And you can apply for that when you submit your registration, and that will be open until September this year. We also have a paid symposium travel. That's the Ecological Dissertations in the Aquatic Sciences, or ECO Days. And that program aims to build interdisciplinary professional networks among participants and also to expose them to several mentors and experts. And there will be a last cohort of this program that is funded by NSF, and applications should open by the end of the year. We have a paid science communication internship that is a remote internship, so it's available to everyone everywhere. For advanced graduate students and recent grads, applications also open soon in August. We have a global outreach initiative that provides funds for ASLO members to conduct outreach projects in their own communities, up to $3,000 US, which can be a fair bit of money. And the next call for this one should open around May next year. We have a Railing Call Editorial Fellowship, which exposes ECOPS to the world of scientific publishing. You need to be a bit more advanced to apply for this, 1 to 6 years after your PhD, but it's an amazing program. I did it myself, and I don't have a single bad word about it. And I think the next call for this one should open in winter next year. There's also the Early Career Publication Honor that helps pay for costs of open access publication. Most of you who are in universities in Australia and New Zealand are not eligible for this, but if you are in a different institution, you should look into applying. There is a call open right now, and its applications are due by July 10th. You can also join the editorial board of the Limnology and Oceanography Bulletin as an associate editor. Next call is February 2028. You can join all of the ASLO committees, but the most relevant ones would be the student committee. There will be a call for applications soon next month, and the early career committee as well. There is a call open right now for applications that are due by June 1st. And both committees do a lot within ASLO. They usually manage all of the programs and benefits for students and early career professionals. So that's a really great place to first get involved with ASLO. You can even join the board of directors. I am a member in the board of directors. I was elected after 2 or 3 years with ASLO, and we have yearly elections, so you can nominate on a yearly basis. You can also become an ASLO Fellow or Sustaining Fellow, which is how the Society recognizes outstanding contributions of its members. And you can receive an ASLO award. There are 2 awards that are specific for early career professionals. One is related to outstanding publications, and the other one related to contributions to research, training, and societal issues. So ASLO is really all about community. There are many benefits to it. Memberships are $30 and $50 for student and early career professionals, but obviously if that's an issue, it can be negotiated. And you can find a lot more info on the website, ASLO social media. There's a link here to a webinar with a lot more information, and also register for the mailing list to hear about everything that ASLO is doing. So I think that was it from me for ASLO. And I'm going to come back to my ECOP hat and open for questions. I don't know if folks, you can either put your questions on the Q&A chat, or you can just pop them in the actual chat. I don't know if people can unmute themselves, but, and also, yeah, go for it, Paul.
I just wanted to mention that Mark didn't tell everyone about the fantastic scholarships for students that SUT have. And I know because I won one when I was a PhD student, and it was such a generous stipend, like $5,000. You don't have to spend it on anything in particular. You just get the big cash lump sum. It's so good. And so they have 3 of those every year. One of them is $7,500. And I know because I sit on the subcommittee for the student scholarships now for the past several years. So, yeah, and that's.
Amazing. Do you want to say something about that as well, Mark? Or
So thanks, Paula. Thanks, Paula, for pointing that out to me. I actually noticed it after I'd finished, but I was worried about the time a little bit. Yes, we do scholarships as well, as Paula mentioned. She described the process. Yeah, there are 3 scholarships every year, and on our website we have listed their testimonials, and perhaps including yours as well, Paula, I think. But it's a very big part of what we do as well, in the SUT, and we generally award that at the annual dinner. And there's 3 scholarships. One is $7,500, sponsored by a major operator, in honour of a colleague who passed away, and the other 2 are $5,000, which is very generous, and can be used for anything. So thanks for the reminder, Paula. Thank you.
Amazing. I will read a question that Jodie already answered in the chat, but just so everyone watching online knows, Tanya asked about whether there is anything set up for members living in remote regions in terms of communication, connection, etc. So places like Darwin and the Northern Territory, and that was specific for the Australian Coral Reef Society. And Jodie mentioned that they give higher amounts for conference support for those that are coming from more remote parts of Australia and New Zealand. I don't know if there was anything else you wanted to add to that, Jodie?
No, I mean, I think that it's a great question because a big part of our values is that inclusivity in that community. And so, maybe we're kind of looking at these situations on a case-by-case basis, because we do want to make sure that, and especially for early career researchers, that those opportunities are not, I guess, that there are not hurdles in the way of those early career researchers embracing those opportunities. So we look to, I guess, eliminate some of those hurdles in any way we can.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Just a reminder, everyone, I'm sharing there. We have a survey form for everyone to provide feedback if you'd like, some questions about today's webinar and also for future ECOP webinars. Are there any more questions from the audience? Feel free to pop them in the Q&A or in the chat. There is also space for you to add those questions in the feedback form, so I can pass them on to our panelists today and get the answers out to the community. Panelists, you can also ask questions if you'd like,
maybe
or
a question for
make some
Tanika.
additional comments.
A question for Tanika. What's an alien fish?
I think that's mostly in reference to non-native species occupying areas that they shouldn't be in.
It's not fish from outer space.
No.
Okay, I didn't think it was, but just thought I'd ask. Thanks. Sorry, it's a silly question.
No questions are silly. Anyone's got other questions or additional things that they forgot to mention during their presentation that they want to still say? No? All right. Well, I think we are coming to the end of this webinar. So thank you very much, everyone who's attending or who's watching the recording later. Thank you so much for the panelists. This has been great. I've been frantically taking notes. I think there's a lot of really cool information for ECOPS in Australia and New Zealand and anywhere else, if there's anyone else watching, on how to benefit from professional societies. And I think the best advice is to join early, to become a part of these communities. You don't have to choose just one society. I know a lot of people who are long-time members of 2 or more societies. So pick what you think is the professional home for you and go with it. So thanks everyone, and we'll see you again in June for another webinar.
Thanks, Rita. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Rita.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Guys.
Bye.